All right, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? We're going to try to give it a go today and see if my voice makes it all the way through. Try to do my best to not talk too much, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, you can hear it's already doing great. Yeah. So, welcome to my Monday. No, I'm just kidding. Not much movement in the last 24 hours. Euro dollar moving up, right? That's the biggest mover right now. Actually, I guess euro pound is out there. And we talked about the euro, potentially at the end of last week, we talked about the euro potentially having some, more aggressive based news this week. A lot of them mentioned that we're, not as bad off as the United States. We can do probably one and we'll be good, or, it won't be a long-term thing for us. And again, it's kind of, again, they were kind of the benefit of, kind of the Ukraine with, their inflation didn't go as crazy because of everything happening. Oops. There we go. So with, again, euro dollar and then euro pound straight up, again, I would say that looking at this, it's showing you that it's really European strength is what we're seeing right now. You may look at it and say, well, wait a second, are we getting pound weakness? You can see that it's down a little bit, but you see it's rallying in the last 60 minutes or so. Looks like it is versus here, but then the pound yen really just kind of flat, right? And the dollar yen not really moving either. Dollar Swiss down a little, dollar CAD down a little, Aussie versus the dollar up a little bit, right? So a little bit of weakness, but are you serious, Sean? You got some snow? It's 45 here. Reese tried to go to school in shorts and a jacket. I'm like, can you just put the pants on that I gave you last night? But really, blizzard, really? That's Hey, we did joke that October is when you were going to start getting it, right? So yeah, sorry. Anyway. So far today, the news we've gotten is really just the tentative news from the GDP quarter over year retail sales numbers, and again, not as big, not necessarily as big of a, as a market mover, important trade right now. So, besides that, not much. Tomorrow morning we do have a slew of data that will come in. A couple inches right now already. Oh my God, Sean, that's insane. Oh God. Yeah, Michigan. Hold on one sec. If I can spell Blizzard, that'd be all right. All right, sorry. So tomorrow morning, pound data should be important. Right now, the forecast is that they're going to break that 10 mark. Again, it had been above, dropped back again, right? It was 10.1, had been adjusted, came in just under that last time, but then showing that it's increasing, I think, is a very important sign. That'll kind of lead us off tomorrow morning, so we'll see what the pound does. And then we have all the CAD data tomorrow. And again, it's supposed to be flat, but again, it's not continuing to decline. That's kind of what they wanted to do. And seeing a lot of these, the medium trend and common, all well above 2%, really kind of gets to them. And it's like, And then we got Bullard, and then that's it for the day, right? There's nothing. And then Bullard speaks later tomorrow night. And then again, opening remarks, not necessarily the biggest deal. And then obviously employment change tomorrow. So important CPI data. Again, it's not the main gauge that the central banks use, but it is a very important gauge because it is kind of what the public and the market looks at as far as if the policy you have, if it's working, right? So we'll see where we go with that one. News-wise, not a lot. You'll see, there's powerful explosions, triggered major gas leak on Russian pipelines. Yeah, okay. And again, powerful explosions kind of goes back to that kind of was it sabotage type thing? Bad situation. Soaring U.S. dollar spreads pain worldwide. Yeah, we've been talking about this for a while. Talking about how us not controlling our interest rates, again, because the dollar is priced everywhere. 20-year bonds. Yep, got it. Electricity. use drops in Europe. What we know, and again, we knew this was coming. The White House. So I think this is an important thing to bring up. All right. So over the weekend, a lot of banter back and forth. We had talked last week about how it's very interesting that they make excuses for the Fed. That the Fed, there's 12 members and we're human, and we can't all agree on things, right? But yet it was 23 members of OPEC unanimously agreed on the cuts, the stabilized price. And I said their mandate is price stabilization, going from whatever the high was, 130, all the way down to 80s, back up to the 90s. That's not stable price, and their mandate is to create stable prices. And again, they are very, very forward-looking, particularly when it helps raise the price of oil, right? Again, they're a business, they're a cartel. They're in this for all, to make money. That's it. Well, the White House decided to go after. Right? The White House decided to go after Saudi Arabia, our supposed closest ally, and basically said that you coerced all these small guys. Well, the response back again from all of the little tiny OPEC nations that were supposedly coerced says, no, that was absolutely not true. We're 100% in agreement. We all 100% sign and support this, basically showing that it is OPEC versus America. And our thing was, well, Putin's going to make more money. Well, guess what? All the people in the Middle East, they don't really care about Putin making money. They're in it to make money for themselves. Okay. So this is kind of what we're getting to. The Biden administration is releasing another 10 to 15 million barrels from the nation's emergency stockpile. If you've been tracking this, right? Now the latest tranche from 100 million barrel plan. So the read was they're trying to stabilize price. Biden says, oh, no, we're going to manipulate it and keep releasing more from our emergency stockpile, which is going to make the price even more unstable, which is going to also lead them once again to probably saying, this is exactly why we did it. Yeah. The other thing is we've been taking 1 million barrels a day or whatever since the beginning of the year, which was supposed to end, I think it's this month or next month, maybe it's sometime around now, right? It's supposed to be ending sometime around now. I thought the White House is also to also share plans to replenish, and this is kind of what we're talking about. We've been taking from the emergency stockpile all year. Now we're going to release another 10 to 15 million. They do have to refill it at some point. What's it going to take, and what are they going to pay to refill it is kind of the big question that everybody's looking at. And trust me, this is extremely dangerous, right? Because this is basically like what happens when the market finds out that there is a big investment bank behind a specific position. If you guys think back, there have been times where there has been billion-dollar losses because, like Goldman Sachs had. I mean, there's the fat finger scenario, but sometimes when they are trying to unwind from a position and everybody knows it's them, they rail them. And again, that's what happens. When you know there's somebody big out there that can't move in and out fast, you stick it to them. Well, guess what? Now the United States, we have now become the whale that, again, it's called the Strategic Oil Reserve. It's an emergency stockpile on purpose, and we have drained it, and now we're releasing more from it to help try to stabilize price. But again, OPEC will have a lot more control than we will. And at the same time, we have to replace it. So trust me, when we're replacing it, OPEC is going to do everything. And OPEC, not only OPEC, but again, understand OPEC is a lot of groups, a lot of nations. Not many of them are friends with the United States. Our closest ally has now basically said, has given us the finger once already and basically said, we're not producing more, and then put it in a double cut. And Putin is over there going, my plan is coming together. So they are going to jack prices as much as they possibly can, do everything in their power to jack prices. So we have to refill it. It hurts us. So you should be closely watching this, even if you are not an oil trader. And again, is OPEC greedy? Are they wrong? The answer is no, right? Everybody worldwide is claiming that we're about to go into a worldwide recession. They are 100% correct saying we need to do cuts. We are forward thinking. They are not reactive like the Fed. The Fed's like, oh, we're at 40-year highs. I guess we should finally start doing something, guys. Not realizing the contagion that they let spread. OPEC is just they're trying to front run it before it becomes too much of a problem. Okay, so I mean, you can't fault them. I mean, everybody tells you should prepare, right? Prepare for what's coming. Right? You don't start gathering, doomsday supplies after doomsday has happened. You're supposed to do it beforehand. Well, OPEC is doing that. So there's nothing wrong with what OPEC is doing right now. So it's nice that the White House is further distancing us from some of our allies. Again, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, why they're doing it. But again, this is pretty dangerous for all of us. Because like I said, the dollar is already at jeopardy right now of, again, if it is hurting, here's the thing. And this is what you guys got to understand. And again, this will go into all the currencies. This is going to go into all the stock market. We talk about, Jamie Dimon saying we got a 20% crash coming. Understand, where is it? Things like this right here, right? The United States dollar is making a bad situation for the rest of the world. Okay. Credit-wise, we spend well beyond what we're supposed to be spending, and we've been in that special situation forever because it's the reserve currency. The reserve currency is now hurting everybody else, right? Countries are dumping dollars and starting to bring in other world currencies, even Israel, dumping it, bringing in, Chinese currency. This is basically getting more and more votes to dump the U.S. dollar. They dump the U.S. dollar, we're in trouble. Okay. Major market crashing, and it'll be nasty for us because, again, our rating, S&P ratings and stuff like that, all goes right down the tubes, right? Really, really bad. And look, there you go. UAE, it was the absolute correct decision. There's no politics. And I agree. It's not politics. It's called greed, guys. They're in this to make money. That's why they're selling the oil. It's to make money, right? It's not politics. It's not like, oh, we're going to help Russia. No, it's like we want to sell this and make money. So, yeah. So, yeah, fun. So, there. Too bad it doesn't have long-term contracts. Yeah, it's not. But, Jeff, I mean, and if they did, you still wouldn't need to do it. Put it this way. Nadex is limited in what they have the ability to do. Again, there's no reason why you can't use the ETFs and trade traditional options, right? Traditional options actually give you more things that you can do. Remember, when you create kind of different leg positions in Nadex, they're all considered separate. There's no joint, there's no linking, there's no nothing in there, there's no stop loss, there's no trailing in there. You can do all those things with traditional options. So it's the same thinking, but the reality of it is I would much rather use a traditional option for it, just because of what you can do, what the technology allows you to do with traditional options, and the fact that they have the longer term contracts and all that kind of stuff. Again, you're not really doing calendar trades, right? You can't do a calendar trade, right? You can't do any of that stuff with Nadex. I mean, the durations are not there. You can't link them the way that you can. So again, it's definitely more of a go the traditional options route to trade anything more longer term. Right. Nadex is great if you want something really, really quick. But again, the commissions have kind of gotten crazy. Easy platform, cheap entry. But, again, until they open up that platform, with the crypto crash, it was awesome. They got bought out by crypto.com. And then all of a sudden, crypto transactions are down 95, 98% or something like that this year. I don't know if they're spending the same money that they were before. So I don't know. Maybe there's a bright end of that tunnel, but I don't know. They just keep tripping over themselves, and all the great things that were coming, I don't know if they're still coming. So, but yeah, I'm laughing too, laughing and crying all in the same term. Yeah, it's the worst idea you could ever do. I thought it was dumb in the beginning to drain your emergency reserves. And then what do? We're going to release more. It's like you're going to go head to head with OPEC. Yeah, good luck. Because you can't be the oil seller, but at the same time trying to replace technologies, but then at the same time, ban everywhere else. It's like you're going to put a shield around the United States as we're the best ones, but then we're going to get removed because everybody else is better. Like the country that's the biggest threat is not Russia. Everybody's already said it. It's China. China's playing both sides of the fence. China is getting cheap oil from everywhere else in the world. Countries are taking on the Chinese currency because they know that that's the next big thing. And what do we do in the United States? We're making our situation worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So, yeah. Anyway, VIX is creeping back down, right? Last week, we were really peaked up there. It's kind of like, oh, God, what are we doing with the interest rates? What's going to happen? Now it's starting to tick back. And again, it's a lower news week. So, again, that's why we're starting to see it come back down again. It is not necessarily supply and driven device, but we are areas where we have sellers here. And again, it is down right now. It's down 1%. You can see everything is deeply in the green right now, and I think there's a lot of reasons for this. again, with earnings this week, everybody's trying to position themselves for it. You're seeing some of the big names up there really in a good position. And again, you're seeing commodities kind of mixed. Even gold right now is starting to rally back again. Gold and silver are starting to come back a little bit. So not necessarily surprising that the VIX is here. Now the dollar has retreated back. And again, 113.80 is insane. It's starting to push back down again in preparation for what we have coming. And again, I think this is kind of due. Again, the recession. Again, comments nonstop about the dollar is now hurting other countries may actually, and again, the Fed is not supposed to look at things on a political nature, but to some point they have to, because understand, if the United States crushes the rest of the world and puts them into the recession, it can drag the United States down as well. So again, they need to combat inflation, but at the same time, they have to do it in a matter like, everybody's lip service is great now. Well, we got to front load this. Great. Front loading this was January when Bullard was saying to do it. Everybody that was weak in there, that was like, no, we don't want to go too fast. We could hurt the economy. Well, we're a year, almost 10 months into this now, and it's still continuing to grow. There was no front loading. They said all the right things. They were saying transitory. The White House said it was transitory. Everybody said it was transitory because it was political. And again, this is what happens when you trust politics and not the actual market. So again, dollar pulling back, not necessarily surprised this week. And again, it's okay. Let it pull back. It's actually great that it's pulling back and we're seeing dollar weakness coming into the market. Remember, we know we have those interest rate rises coming. And the farther that it goes away from zero, the more reason why people want to put money in dollars. But you don't want to do it when it's really, really high. It's awesome that it's coming back. This is great. Gotta love it coming back, right? So this is a big perk. So again, be happy that the dollar is becoming weak right now. And again, indices getting a little bit of a rally. That's great. Because also remember, and I'll draw it right here, the market does two things, right? There's impulse moves and there are correction moves. And they work in both directions. There are impulse moves down and there are corrective moves down. Now, typically of these two, they tend to work more like this, where it's slower to go up, right? It's the escalator on the way up and then the elevator on the way down. Tends to be how it works. So, I think there's more coming. Housing this week is one of the numbers we got to look at. So, yeah, a lot going on. So let's look at the Aussie first. So the Aussie, here's where we were last week. Here's where we were Friday. Again, we blew through that level, and you can see Friday afternoon is kind of where we ended. And then Sunday, we opened up right here, and we kind of did one of these. It wasn't really, I wouldn't say necessarily a gap. It was right in here. It kind of opened where it started, but it was at the bottom. We did have a green, red, green there confirmation. It pulled back, kind of came back and grabbed it, and then just continued to rally. Now, we had the Harry Potter, and we tend not to use the Harry Potter for another sell, and this is why. It was not another entry there, but if you continue it across, you can see where did it hiccup? Right through that level. And it came down and touched it. It came and touched it again. It came and touched it again. So you could have used this as a kind of Harry Potter in the other direction. Again, we typically don't use the break for another trade, especially when there's no pause. There's a pause sometimes, but not when there's not a pause. You could have traded on this side because, again, it did give us a base here, and then boom, there's your confirmation. There's your trade. And what happened? This all of a sudden became whether an entry or a profit target. And again, we had talked about that last week. We kind of turned and rolled off of it. We talked about the profit, or the right in here where it coming in, and that's exactly what happened. It touched it, it went down, and what did it do? It grabbed that same level. If you had taken it again, here's your Your European Open is right. Actually, European Open is here. Your 530 is right there. Okay, is right there. It is this red candle. So, again, it was more of a reversal trade because your 3 o'clock was actually. Let's put the right things in here. 3 o'clock is there. So 3 o'clock, send it down, and then 530 is right there. Okay, so again, down into a level with confirmation, popped it back up. So right now, I do like this as a short. Again, it's already happened once, so no, this is not the freshest of levels. It has hit it a few times. You had this entire area here. Even if you counted all this as 1, there's 2, there's 3. It is pushing back. You can take a number 3, and I do agree with this one. With the European market kind of being as weak as it was for the U.S. dollar, we tend to see the dollar fight back again. So obviously at this point, I mean, it's already kind of gone once. So this is kind of the second attempt in. Your 1 to 3 is sitting right there. So you can see it's already gone past it once. It basically needs to go back down and test the low. So It's kind of late right now. You're already past the 1-to-1, but I do think that this one continues to roll. But this has been a great level to kind of follow back and forth. And you can see everybody that's waiting for that 50%, it hasn't really gotten in there and kind of cranked through yet. So do like this one, but do think it continues to deteriorate down again today. With no news, right? With no news, I think it, I think it rolls back down. Aussie. So you can see Aussie also gaining in strength. We talked about, I don't know why I had that one up there. I had that up there for a reason. Oh, it's probably because we were talking about there's 2 levels sitting up here. You can see we haven't hit it, and it's kind of running into this area here. What's up, buddy? Here, want this? There you go. Must have just had a big kip. So, this one had a nice little kind of push, and again, kind of news-based. We never took the bounce here. Never got the entry for the Harry Potter. We were kind of looking for something good, but it never gave it to us. But we can roll this forward now. So I do like that it did base. It never entered, but it did give us a new basing level. So we do have a trade here for later on this week. And again, whenever it does come back, I don't know when it will, but we do have a trade set up right there. And that's actually not a bad one. Profit-wise, it's in the right spot. That would be one where we want to put a ray on. Oops, no, not a ray. Sorry. There we go. I was like, wait, why is it not working? Buddy, don't pull it out, please. So there. Yeah, there we go. So, it's not down there. Let's see. Why did they give that artificial bottom? It was not a 23. It's an interesting spike. Interesting spike right there. Yeah, they're whipping somebody out of that one. Very interesting spot. Yeah, I don't know why that one turned there. That's somebody running out of steam trying to manipulate it real quick. I don't know. Anyway, I would say right now, again, we are cruising forward. We had an impulse move. We have a correction move. We'll see if it continues to follow the Aussie dollar back to the downside or not. Again, with all the indices green, we're not going to get a whole lot of yen strength out of this one. So, what are you doing? What are you doing? Playing with trains? Are you playing with trains? Here. Oh, here, you love this. Here, play with this. Play with this. There you go. So, yeah, I look for it to come up, stabilize. If anything, I would say wait for it to continue its push and then maybe look for a rollover on one of these two. I do like the level up top better. I think this level up here, 94.82, was a better level than the lower one of the two. I mean, it was but again, we're not getting any help from 61 or 78. It's purely going to be nope, don't touch that. Nope, you don't need to touch that. No. Nope, you don't need to touch that. Here, with this. There you go. This boy's into everything. All right, so, no, you don't need to reach that. No. Euro dollar. So, Euro dollar continuing to grind. On Friday last week, we were sitting up in here. We got a nice spike up. We got a turn and rollover. Came back and grabbed the same level again. It looks like Sunday we kicked off right here, kind of ended in that zone as well. Kind of pulled up and came back and got a confirmation touch 4:30 in the morning. And then once again at the 8 o'clock window. Again, 3 touches. Actually, it looks like 4 touches, right? You have the 1, you have the 2, you have the 3, and you have the 4 here. Again, wouldn't expect that to hold. It did give us the base and the pullback through, although probably wouldn't have taken that one. Not at 10:30. So right now we are driving higher. So in the grand scheme of things, let's see. The 78 was tagged, so let's pull that off. Let's pull it in the other direction now and go down, and let's see. Yeah, that's what we're running into right now. So selling wise, what are you doing? What are you doing here with this? Here, put that on there. There you go. Selling wise, it does make sense. It's kicking off of here, but I don't know. Looking back at where it's hitting, pretty choppy, right? There's this push, this push, this push, this push, this push. So we kind of did it like a step all the way down. Not my favorite area to do things off of. I like these clean ones. I wouldn't say any of these are like explosive moves off. They're decent, right? The red candles are pretty decent, but none of them I'm like, oh, I love that. That looks great. You know, it just doesn't qualify for that for me. So, you know, it is a level. If anything, let's see. Maybe do we have a small one? Where's the 23? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So I'm gonna just steal this one because again, we've kind of burned through it. Right there. You can see the 50 didn't slow it down at all, and it broke and kind of carried through. I'd say that that's a level there. Probably look if we can roll back down with dollar strength. That's a level that again was a level. It was this rally kind of basing sideways and then popped up again and then kind of tested it and then boom took off. That also happens to be a 23.6, right? So it's kind of already tagged the 23 once, but with a push a little bit higher. And a pierce only a little tiny bit. I think we could get another long off that one later on today. And again, a lot of this is going to depend on how much strength can we, you know, how much dollar strength can we have rolling in, and then we hit it and kind of go. The crypto ad, did he? Yeah. I think a lot of stars try to cash in on the crypto thing really quick, and now it's kind of like, well, maybe that wasn't the best thing we could have done. Honestly, Jeff, as far as the crypto stuff goes, honestly, the best thing that could happen is they need to get it fully regulated, and then it's going to be like a crypto reset. But until it becomes here's the thing, you know, going back to that, and again, it pertains to things like this. The euro dollar, it's a currency, it's traded between banks, it's internationally regulated, right? Something like a crypto where it's like, oh, I can cycle this in and take it over here, like because of its anti-regulation kind of stance, that's what's going to never make it like a legitimate product. Because again, supposedly the Fed 12 people can't agree on it. I don't know. Maybe when crypto goes in from OPEC, you know, when OPEC has their coin, maybe that's how it'll finally get, you know, legitimate access, right? Because they can have 23 people agree on the same thing, but 12 of the Fed people can't, right? So yeah, who knows? So yeah, I would say that 98.22 is probably a decent level. Euro pound. This one's getting close. We had an area here that we mentioned last week, up here at 87.52. We've pushed up. You can see that kind of got front run a few times and then kind of sliced through, made it about halfway through the 50. And we talked about it being not the greatest level. Kind of dropped and slowed and then continued. Would have been a really great setup for a 50% trader either. But again, that was the bottom. So the draw is still live. It's right at the 61.8. This is one of those ones in the euro pound that I think is in a good spot. We've had so much European strength. If we can get this to go, and let's see, does it need to move, 40 pips? If we can get it to go 40 pips and then maybe get some good numbers tomorrow from the pound, this is where we can get a nice little rollover. So again, this is one of those ones from, again, last week that we were looking at. And again, Friday morning. Actually, Monday is where the bottom was, but that's kind of funny. Obviously, I wasn't here yesterday. I drew the fibs here from Friday saying, hey, listen, we got a rollover here. This is kind of that forecasting with fibs and where it is. Well, now it's official. There's my forecasting with fibs, right? I should do a video on forecasting with fibs and just to see all the hate mail. Be like, what? You can't forecast with fibs? Are you crazy? But there you go. We forecasted fibs from Friday. Oh, I actually wasn't here yesterday. And my 61.8 level is still good. And that was actually the bottom yesterday morning. So at 10, and by the way, it just happened to be at 10:30. So not too bad. Forecasting with fibs with a 10:30 reversal. Bam. I could put that as a title on YouTube. People are like, what does that even mean? Slow it down and you'll understand. Euro yen. All right, so euro yen. We are up in a daily zone now. You can see the dailies hit, came back again, hit, dropped in again. Try to push it a little bit farther. I think this one's in the right spot. We talked about this one popping through. I could extend the fibs up just to see if anything matches up, and not really. We can pull that. That is still decent for me for a Harry Potter trade. I'm not worried about it right now. I'll just extend it across. Nope. Oops. I wanted the other one. I wanted this one to come across just so I could see it. I'm good with that one. We're going to save that, and we're also going to save that as far as profit targets go. Right now, we're looking for a top, and kind of the same thing we just said with the euro. Again, I think it's justified right now to be going higher. We're not going to get any help from the yen today. We kind of need that reversal to come in. It is in a higher time frame zone, so we are kind of in the area where we're looking for this one, but it's not here yet. So I don't want to call it and be like, "Yep, that's it, top right now, start to sell it." Nah, I think we're close. I mean, I think we're pretty close to it, but I'm not ready yet. I think what you need to do is we need to see at least a confirmation, and again, on a 30-minute or 15, if we can get a red, green, red by all the rules, if we can get a color change. I think it makes it's a perfect spot over there to be able to take a reversal on it. So I think it's close. I don't want to draw. And again, maybe that's the red candle top, right? This could potentially be. I mean, again, the way that it drew, I don't like the wick on the bottom, but potentially this could be where the top is. Again, we're still in the zone. We're still in the right proximity. It gave me the wick to body kind of percentages that I like. The bottom side, I don't like that wick as much, but again, it is kind of a morning candle open at 9:30. So those will always get a little bit more weird. What are you doing? Did you drop your thing? You did. You dropped it right into my shoe. Here. Bam. There you go, buddy. There you go. Yeah, so could be a potential top. And again, I think we're looking for a top in all of these. Question is, how much higher can it hold, and can we get some help from the yen? So pound dollar, much, much farther down. So pound dollar actually looks like it had an interesting trade. I did not catch this one. Being sick, whenever I am sick or overly tired, I tend not to try to do charts, do trades, do analysis. I've just found over time that's one of my rules. With many of you guys, I've talked about trading plans and really kind of establishing a set of rules and guidelines. I see too many people force it. It's just one of those rules is if you're not at your best, and it's kind of the same thing. Like the reason you don't, drive when you're drinking is because you're not at your best. Your reflexes are slow. I think trading is the same thing. If your judgment is clouded, we are not robots. We have good days and bad days. If you are overly tired or just not in the right mindset, it's better not to trade. I know that's weird being an educator telling people don't trade, but it's the truth. I mean, being sick, this would have been a nice little trade setup that you guys could have taken midnight last night. And again, easy base. Base was formed at 10:30 yesterday. Right? Pulled up, grabbed it. You guys can see this is a nice little runner. And again, for me, midnight, obviously with the kid, Jen actually told me, "Daddy, we're going to bed now." I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess we're going to bed." Because she's still pretty sick. She's not at school again today. Her nose is like a faucet. Kip he's still got a runny nose, but hold on. Kip's still got a runny nose and has a little cough, but he's not as bad as Jen. But Jen told me last night, "Daddy, I'm tired. We need to go to bed." I was like, "Oh, okay." Anyway, if you guys were able to trade this one last night, nice little grab. Good move on that one. So let's see, where does this one? Let's run some fibs on this. So we're past the 78. So I'm going to remove this side. Let's run it on the other side. All right, there we go. And you can see it's sliced right through the 23. All right, so the 50 does have a level right there, which actually is not bad. And again, it's playing off that old buy area that we were talking about last week. So I would say right now, downward size targets are 111.82 on this one if you guys are short. There's a little hiccup there, though. And again, we have a confirmed hiccup on that one. Again, this Harry Potter is still live. Pull that across for next week. Or for later this week. Let's see, our scalpers getting into this one. Yeah, they are. There are people in this one right now. And again, I was actually talking to Jack this morning a little bit. Jack and I are both sous videing. You can see it. It didn't quite get to the 50, but had you known how to draw zones, there's your zone. Jack is doing a 24-hour cook on a pork shoulder, and I am doing a 24-hour cook right now on a venison roast that one of my kids shot last weekend. So some fresh deer, and he gave me some bologna yesterday. Oh, I know some of you guys are not meat eaters out there, and some of you are meat eaters. He gave me some backstrap, some loin, and some burger, some steaks, and then this roast, and then also gave me some bologna. I haven't had venison bologna in a long time, so he cured and smoked it. It got cured and smoked last week, so it's a week old, right? Cured and smoked. Holy crap. Smoky on the way in, a little spicy and sweet on the way out. Man, it's good. Reese was like, "Can I eat the whole thing?" I'm like, "No, you're not eating the entire log of, smoked bologna. Sorry." Tip ate it. Jen ate it. Melissa ate it. She was like, "Wow, I actually like this." Yeah. Asher's the only one that was kind of like, "Yeah, it's okay." But yeah, super good. So, yeah, doing some stuff. But anyway, back to the original part of that one. Any of the Jack followers will like the 50% a lot there. Again, Jack does know this. It's funny. Jack and I over the years, he will pull in supply and demand type stuff, but also at the same time pull fibs. Fibs is his mate. It's funny. We're kind of opposite. I use fibs as confirmation. He'll use supply and demand on the other side. We just do it backwards. But yeah, so there's a nice little trade right there. And again, I think this is okay. If we can make it through this next 10, 15, 20-minute window, I think we push back down again. But there are people short right now. There will be people short right now based off of the overnight high to low with a 50% being there. And again, it did not quite hit the 50, but if they understood where the supply zone was there, they got it short this one. So they're about 2-1 right now. Pound yen. So, pound yen. We talked last week about 170.02. You can see we came up in the overnight, yesterday at 10:30. Looks like, 10:30 is the green right there. So there's your reversal. It looks very, very similar to the euro yen based trade. Had you gotten it off the larger time frame zone, nice runner, right? That's about 242 pips to the downside. If you took that as the new high, right? There you go. And again, a little bit less, right? But you're obviously way out of it at this point. This one also triggered around midnight. And again, I was obviously not awake. But there's your 1 of 3. And a perfect place, right? Right below this area. But you could have ran this one even from here. 224 pips. So same kind of setup. And this actually, I believe, on the newsletter, this was one of the zones. This is one of the upper parts of the curve, right? So this was a level that you guys should have been able to trade off of, 170 to 170.65. But again, number of ways to take it. You could have taken it off the larger time frame zone, which we had been talking about for a while. You could have taken it off of the red, green, red color change, which is right there, right? There's the red, green, red, right? You could have taken it off of the new zone, which would have been there. And there's your entry, right? So a number of different ways that you could have taken this trade, right? All basically off of the same thing. Okay. So it is out now. We'll leave it marked now. It's fine where it is right there. That's probably good for one more touch, right? Again, larger time frame, new established zone, one confirmation in. We're good. Let's see. We're going to pull fibs from there. Yeah, there's probably some 50s getting in right with this confirmation right here, right? We know that we got buyers right there, right? And then run fibs from here up. You see how you can't even see the line. You see the 50 line? It's right on. So not surprising that that's there at all. It's these buyers. Question is what happens when we blow through those. Oh, and look at that. And it's a confirmation with the 23. So yeah, so it's a double. It is a double. 23.50 double. So, and again, there was buyers there. I think we look for profit targets down here. And all these are still fine. We can leave all these down here. Oh, look at that. Now, even with the extension, that one is now the 61. So yeah, I like this level. This level was the 23 at one point. It was the 50, the last draw, and now it's the 61.8. So we're doing fine with that one. So yeah, I would say look for a little bit of a test down here at the 23. It's obviously the high pivots are getting lower and lower and lower. So I think this one probably continues to roll down. We're not getting a whole lot of help from the yen. What's it doing now? We're not getting a ton of help. So we kind of need something to come in, but when it does come in, this is already showing weakness versus everybody else. This one should accelerate back to the downside. So I would say right now it's a little bit red. I would say it's probably a little bit more red tomorrow. Okay. CAD. So the CAD jumping around, and again, I'll extend this back down again. You can see that the 23, this was not 23, not 23, not 23. And then when it extended down, it kind of hit the 23, faked it out, and then blew people out. So Right now, let's see where we are with this one. We're seeing CAD strength come in. It is technically a little bit in the green, but overall, if you see where we were from like Thursday and then from Friday morning, right, we're down. Right, from yesterday morning, we're up a little bit, but if you think about this, oil is down 3%. How is the CAD? Again, a 3% drop is a big drop. And again, that's because we're releasing more from the Strategic Oil Reserve. Middle East is quite pissed off about this. Dropping from 90 to 82 in a week because you're going to release more. Yeah. So, but it's a temporary fix. Considering this is CAD strength right now, or overall CAD kind of trending down, kind of interesting. Interesting battle happening here because oil will pop back up again, which will give us a surge in CAD. And CAD actually has some decent news this week. Tomorrow morning, CPI. This could be a nice little area here. So I think in the next 24 hours, watch where this dollar CAD position is, particularly because if we can get the dollar strength to come in like we've been talking about, there is a lot of kind of drama right here. And we just talked about it, that 50% is a level, like particularly, obviously you guys know some of Jack's strategies. That 50% level is kind of confirmed and tested. And if that rallies back up again, you can see it's only about 80 pips away. It's got a 4-hour ATR of 65. Can it move 80 in a day? Yeah, absolutely. Well, 20 hours, right? 20 hours, can it move 80? Yeah, absolutely. So if we crank in with the dollar strength, put us up at the 50%, and this number comes in big tomorrow as like a 0.5 or something like that, and all the medians are higher, that gives us an ability to take this one short tomorrow for a trade here. And again, we're going to put it right here. Oops, I want to move that. It's there. And we'll put, where is it? Man, has it been that long? Where the heck is it? Where's my calendar? They've removed it? I must have been the only person using it. Oh well, I guess it's gone. I guess I can use that. Right. Economic news release. Gonna be a little graph. Yeah. I swear there was a calendar in here before. I swear. Am I missing it? I must be missing it. They must have stealth removed it on me because I don't see it. They did add a poop though. I mean, I feel like if they added a poop, I feel like that's something, right? So maybe that's what they did. They replaced my news release with poop. So go TradingView. Yay. Thumbs up. So yeah. So anyway, this is lined up for news tomorrow. Right there. Right. If we can rally back up again, this is getting a US dollar. I'm sorry, a US CAD short. You can also play with CAD yen. Dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss chopping back through. So we are through the 78, so we can remove that one. We came back down, grabbed the 99.33. We talked about it last week. Nice little rally off that one. Did not get stopped out. A nice little 46 pip runner. Right now, if we go from the most recent high to low, you can see the 23 got sliced through with no problem. And that's kind of funny because there was actually some decent selling in there, but got sliced through. Kind of whipsawed it back and forth again. The 50, the 50's at parity, but not really in a great level. I think the 61.8 is probably the best ability to short that one. One, two, three, four. This is deep too. I don't like this for a sell either, but I'm curious if we take this short from here. It's about all I'm looking at right now. Again, nice little burst through, getting down from the 61.8 to the 78.6. Again, it's a level that was originally established, confirmed, but pretty deep. Actually, confirmed here, pushed pretty deep and held, pushed even deeper and held, and then rallied off of. There's not going to be many not many buyers left in here, and then there's a nice little racetrack to the downside and about 44. So there's probably a short trade here. We just need to find a top and collapse. So, if this one turns and rolls off of this, right, that hit. Again, there's sellers there, but I wouldn't put a trade there, but there is sellers there. This turns and rolls when we come down and base in this level. And again, I don't know how quick we're going to hit it, but this is some dollar weakness. That's probably the next major. If I was, setting an alert or kind of what's coming, it would be dollar Swiss down here, or dollar Swiss all the way back up. If we rally all the way back up to here, so 1006 or 9877 are the two shorts on this one. So, and again, there is something going on right here, right? 10020. It is a 61.8. There is obviously some basing and a nice push down again, but I don't know. Maybe if there was a news trade, maybe for news wise. So again, you can see it's a little bit deep past the 61, but shouldn't take out too many stop losses. Okay. Dollar yen. There's that 5 o'clock move. So talked about 150. And look, if I take this, look at the spike. How funny is that, right? Talked about the spike being right up there, being one move away. Look at that. If I drag the spike over, the spike is literally the size of that spike. So we're close. I mean, we are within range now of a spike of hitting that 150. But, you get things like this where it's a clearing wick. And by clearing, just so everybody understands, so what a clearing wick is, because I'm sure I don't use the term all the time. It's in the class, but I don't use it all the time. So in your analysis, when you're looking for levels of buyers and sellers, you typically don't have x-ray vision, okay? When you're looking for new levels to kind of take reversals off of, you got to be able to see it. So if I'm looking through and I'm looking back, I can see to here, but I can't see all this. I go down, I go down, I go down. It's like a mountain. So I can go down to here. Whoops. I can go down to here, and then I can finally look past the mountain this way, right? And then when I hit that wall, I have to start doing my analysis, down, down, down. I come to here and then start going down, down, down. So when it goes to here, I can't see what's happening back here. So it's one of those things that, yes, we do use violated levels, and it is kind of part of the strategy. But for the most part, finding decent reversals, we don't have X-ray vision. You can't see through a mountain. You can see over it, and you can see the hills, but you can't see what's past the peaks. So a lot of this right now, again, this is a clearing wick because it cleared all these buyers out. Next real set of buyers is really down here. And again, there was a racetrack trade there that they tried to kind of mess up. So I'm still looking for 150. I still think, and again, we're, 90 pips away? The daily ATR is 124. So we are 1 day, right? We've seen dollar weakness across the board, and we're seeing this one grind. The question is, can we, the next dollar spike is 150 there, right? And again, I was talking about some type of intervention coming in somewhere in this area. I don't know where. Let me change it to a different color so you guys aren't like thrown off by it completely. But somewhere in there, some type of intervention, I think, is what's going to happen. But we are one push from 150. So happy about that one. Bitcoin, a little bit of rally last week, and now we're kind of, chopping back and forth. That dollar strength pops in. Guess what? This is coming back down in the 19. So we called the last push down. I would say watch for this to come over. And again, I don't know where the dollar strength will come in, maybe in the next day or two. But I think this one comes back down. Ethereum, also the same kind of pop. And again, test. There's 3 hits. We're here to hit 4. Looks like 13 is coming through. And Doji went back up. And again, there was a decent topping candle turn there, right? And, we were low. Now, question is, all this basing, there's your violated touch. A lot of basing right in here, and we're hitting it again. Is the People's Coin about to be down at 150, down at 55? Oof, right? That's the last time where it was saved. So, that's looking ugly. Let's look at oil. So, again, a couple of Harry Potters in here. We can remove this one because that one is obviously out at this point. It's funny. We talked about this level. There was the pop, and look, it hit it again, hit it again, hit it again, hit it again. Ooh, look at that. Happened to close there, gap, and straight to the downside. Yeah. And that's Monday into Tuesday. Tuesday morning. Look at that. That's we're going to release more strategic reserve. Yep, got it. So let's carry this across now. So there was a trade there this morning. Ooh, look at that. That's now at the 50. Actually, this should be here to cover those candles. All right, so it looks like we're going to chop through that. So it looks like the next level, our next target, that's going to piss OPEC off. Wah, wah, wah. All the way down there. we do have something sitting right there. Oops. Okay. Question is, in the next hour, hour and a half, what do we do off that level? Now, there should be some profit taking coming in. Is it going to be enough though? 270. We're already at 3. Oof, we're pushing way past it. Hmm. So it's 1026. So we do have some selling in there. Do we push back up into the mean? Do we get a little bit of a reprieve here in oil? Again, this is a big movement. This is $2.70 down, so it's about a 2.5% move. Obviously, we had a little bit of pinch, but it wasn't a major. This is a big pinch. This, big pinch. This, not so much a pinch. So, again, it is widening, and you would expect that to start kind of pinching back in after it's widening. And again, it can stay wide for a while, right? It can stay widening for a while, but this was 8, and typically by 1 o'clock is where it starts to fade. This is a big push coming in. We start hitting this 10:30 window. We're kind of out of news. Again, if we can't blow through this level in the next 30 minutes, I think look for this to come back up and kind of stabilize itself. Maybe back at 83.50, right? Again, I can't foreshadow kind of where this is, but I mean, just going in the middle, probably down in here is where it would kind of stabilize itself to. So, yeah, I'd say right? Something along those lines. It's funny. It's huge. It's like, yeah, that's not the. Again, I drew that line there, just so you guys know. Here, we'll change it to something else, so it's totally different. So I'd say probably. That's what I'd say. But I do think that this does have a risk. If it does break, look for 79.80 before we take a long. Okay, and 79.80 is decent. $80, breaking $80. Everybody will be talking about, oh, we're below 80. So look for that as a potential term. Natural gas. I don't need blow bands now. Although it did just pinch. Natural gas is down, and the reason you may say, well, wait a second, why the heck is natural gas down? What's going on with that one? This has to do with energy consumption. That's building consumer confidence down 10 straight months in a row. Yeah, it's only going to get worse. Right here. Gas consumption has been reduced. So in preparation, they talked about different ways that they could lower their reliance. One of them was kind of lowering their natural gas usage. This is kind of in preparation for winter, so when they actually need it, they have it, okay? I think this is absolutely great. It's the right way to do it. Again, being a little bit more thrifty, I propose to start purchasing gas together operationally, okay? But this is actually great for the EU. It is worthwhile on exploring gas price limits for power. You can try to do that, but we've already proven the gas limits don't matter. Now, the difference here is there is not, it's basically there is no natural gas kind of version of OPEC. There are groups out there, but the power for natural gas pricing comes from the United States and basically Russia. Those are the two natural gas-based nations. We are kind of at capacity. We could do more, but it's about a 2-year process, 2 to 3 year process for natural gas. But we are one of the biggest players for natural gas. So that's not a bad thing. They can cap it, but the same thing. They can cap it, and we can sell it all to the European Union. But China uses it. India uses it. Russia will just sell to those two nations, and those two nations are much bigger than the United States. And I don't know that we have enough that we can actually support all of the EU without Russia. So, yeah, the whole rest of the world would gladly take it from Russia if they can get it cheaper than what the United States is going to sell it with the price cap, or the EU is going to pay for a price cap. So it's nice, it's nice that they can try to do it. But I love the price cap discussion. It's like, oh no, our people, we're going to subsidize it. Okay, great. They will drain the heck out of your accounts if you do that. All right, let's bring this down. So that is why natural gas is lower, because it's a lowering on demand by 15%, which is absolutely great. I'd love for it to tank, although I have like 85% of my gas tank for the winter right now, so I'm good right now. Gold. Gold is flirting back and forth. So love gold. On Friday afternoon, we talked about it ending here and seeing what the new week looked like. It did. It ended Friday right here. And you can see Sunday right here. It ended up kind of bouncing off of that though, which is totally fine. I'm cool with that one. The more times it hits this level, the better it is. I think this one is still valid. We can adjust it slightly because again, we do have kind of the new basing level in there, right? There's our new basing level. We can adjust the risk level on it to here, and then the 1 to 3 actually gets shorter. So it's nice. We don't need it to go as far. We knew we had buyers coming down here. It's not as much of a run, but with a smaller size risk, you can have a larger position size. So this one has now a break of 1639.50, right? 1639.50, pushing down into looks like what? 1630.75. So not as much of a run needed, but again, a nice position. Again, you can see the tops are coming in, the bottoms are trying to hold firm here, right? But they're taking another hit here, hit. It looks like it's going to go through. So keep that one. That could be good, especially after today. It looks like they're both really starting to roll. And silver kind of looks similar. We talked about this going down, and we talked about it slow. It went fast. You can see this one got a little bit of 20, and again, there's 23 guys there. Got a little bit of pressure off that one. Let's see. It's funny, we talked about profit being down here, and that's exactly where it tagged it. And actually, we can actually just box that off. It's a decent bottom. So we'd call that as being a profit target back from what we saw here. So there's a little front run right there, though. Oof, look at that little sneak. There's a lot of stepping in here. There is probably buyers going to come in right there. Right in there. You had this little pop, came down, touched it, and then exploded off and got front run twice. So I'm assuming that's where we're going to see some people coming in. I think silver has the way. Again, this goes back to the dollar. Dollar getting stronger. These two should weaken. You can see gold just rolled into the red. I think this comes down. I think we look for a target of 1823 overall. And I think if this can accelerate in the next 2 hours, we could potentially get it all the way down. And I'd like to see what it does when it comes down to 1815. I think that has a potential for a bounce, but again, profit target is going to be first 1823. Look to see what it does. It could hit it and go, but take your profit early. Don't wait for 1815. Indices look like they are starting to roll a little bit. There was some up in the twos. Let's see what we got here on the 15 minutes. Let's see what we got. Man, that was holding high. It was at the 78 too. Actually, it was at the confirmed. Why do we have it there? I don't know why we had that there. There's your confirmed with the 78.6 there. Yeah. 530. It's a nice 530 reversal. Wasn't in a zone though. Confirmation touch. Can we get the 130 in? It's not out yet. Right there. It's how much farther it needs to move. So you're close. So one entry, you're 2/3 of the way. At this point, if you are in this one, make sure you have your stop loss right there. So again, worst case scenario, you're getting just a little bit under 1-to-1. It's through. I mean, you've gotten the red, green, red. It's all the way down. It's running into people where it should. Got a little bit more to go. Again, we are approaching that 10:30 window, so be cautious. Trail that stop loss down a little bit. You should be good to go on that one. So we're good there. NQ. Also, we got to kind of go back because we had punched through in the overnight. Nah, you wouldn't have got entry on this one. Yeah, we're sitting. No, it would have been in here. So would not have gotten an entry on NQ. Right, the 930 was the peak, so yeah, no entry in this one, unfortunately. This one probably in here. Let's see. I want to run this all the way up. Yeah, it's right there. I was wondering what was kicking up right in here. I was like, oh, look at this, kick, boom, and then it actually gapped past it right to 50. I'd say right now, if you're a short NQ, make sure you take profit on this one before you get down to 11,108.50. Again, there is a little bit of a gap in there, and those gaps can kind of get a little bit weird, but a lot of buying in there. So, yeah, we are technically at a level. We are technically at a 23.6 right now. So again, it is 10:30. This is where you would expect a little bit of a roll to come in. But with them really kind of rolling in the U.S. session, it was really kind of a beat up the dollar, help the U.S. market, and now we're kind of seeing that reversal. So, it is a turn area, but we've been here and not the most explosive thing. So again, short, take your profit, maybe even a little bit early, maybe even take this off at 111, 111.20, maybe a little bit safer because there is a gap in there. So use caution with that one, but would not have got an entry on that. Let's see. We can go past. This one's been a while. Let's see. So was there something? It was around a 78. So this one, there is a hiccup there. So there's this, right? But I wouldn't have traded it. Not when you're in such close proximity up top. But I mean, if I carried across, that's what I ran into. So it would not have been an entry for me. You could have said, well, wait a second, there's a wick against a wall, right? And some of you may be like, well, I don't know, have any idea what that means. Why would you trade that one? Well, if you go down to a 5 minute, there's your hiccup. See how it dropped and then spiked up again? And look at it, it literally boxed it off exactly. So on a 15, it's a little easier to see. See the window? I mean, it literally boxed it out perfectly. So that's what it ran into. I wouldn't have traded that one. You could have. I just don't like, me personally, I don't like the 78. I know some of you do like it. Like I know James is a big 78er. He likes the 78s. I don't like it personally. Again, everybody has their own practices. You guys do what you'd like. Had you taken the 78, though, it would have been a win for you. I do believe that this one is all the way out, though. Yeah, your 1 to 3 is right there. So you are out of this one had you taken that with a 1 to 3. Now, we're going to stop this one. Let's see. Profit wise, yeah, there's a little hiccup at 23.6. I think you're okay there. I think the bigger risk on this one of where profit would probably be in this level. So if you are short and you do want to run it a little bit past that 23, I think 34.64 is where you want to take profit. There is obviously some hiccups over here, but this is after the market is closed, like the end of the day, the 3-4 o'clock window, right around the 50 for YM. Again, with earnings, again, always want to be a little bit more careful. So, yeah, you would be out. Like I said, I'm not going to add this to the tally because, again, for me, I don't like the 78s personally. I think they're lower quality, but they do work. I mean, they are out there for a reason. And this one would have had a decent touch off of it and roll. Russell, let's see what Russell would have done. So Russell, we knew we were up high. Looks like that one triggered. Yeah, that one triggered in the overnight. Yep. That one triggered in the overnight, and then boom, 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 boom. You can see all the chopping back and forth. So let's see. Was there anything higher? I don't think so on this one. No, this is also a racetrack here. Let's see. Let's take this all the way down now. Let's see what we have. These levels here, you can see. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. All these shorts. We'll remove it now. Whoops. Let's remove all these because these are all done. That long is out. That long is out. That opening print is out. I don't need that. I don't need that. The 78 is officially touched, so I can pull that one off. We can pull this one down. Actually, you know what? Let's go up to 2 hour. See what I'm doing in a second. Okay, that 78 is out. Let's remove that. Oops. Yeah, it's that piece right there. Oops. Targets hit. I don't go up to the high enough time frames enough to like see all the old stuff that we have up here. Not short. I don't need that. I can take these off. All right, so We were expecting that. 1, 2, 3, 4 broke, so let's pull that off now. All right. So, hmm. Okay. Let's pull that guy. Those are out. Pull that profit target. That's down. I really should use that one. Okay, this one is very, very close to a profit target. And again, it is a 23. It has hit it, but it wasn't a 23 at that point. There's where the 23 was. You would not have got in, but there was the basing from the gap. But now it is a reversal point. So I'd say for those either in the kind of scalping based positions, I'd say that there's the opportunity right there at 1757.4 that we come down. Again, it is a confirmed level off of a base as well as a 23.6. You'll have all those different factors probably involved in this one. Be cautious with the 1800. That is obviously going to be a psychological number, but to pull a 1 to 3 off that one is not really that difficult. It is a rather small trade. And again, it's, we'll see. Now would be really 10 minutes ago was kind of in the window of when we'd like to see this one. But we may, if we're able to kind of go down, this may be a 1 o'clock, kind of a 1 o'clock pop off of that one, right? 1 o'clock pops are actually a real thing too. So yeah, watch it. So I would say overall today, for me, it would have been one entry off the open. You could have taken two different entries. If you took the second one, it's all the way to full profit. And then ES is not quite there yet, but you've already banked something on that one. Or you've locked it in to where unless there's a gap, you're good to go. So, not bad. But considering the markets are, right now, what do we got? Pound dollar down 120. We're seeing dollar weakness come in. Steadies rally. Again, 10 straight months and housing continues. Euro is continuing to move. Actually, I guess this is the pound. This is more pound weakness coming in. Because look, this was not horrible. Let's see. Let me check that out real quick. It's rallied up a little bit. It's because of this. That's why. So it's a little bit misleading. I was like, has it moved that much? No, it hasn't moved at all since our analysis. It's just because the candle back here is finally playing catch up in the 24 hours, right? Because if I change this to 6 hours, it's 12. It's not that much. So in 6 hours, it's moved 12 pips in 6 hours. I don't think 12, it's going to make a difference. Yeah, 30 in 12 hours, it's not even moved. 36, 37, it's not bad. So yeah, it's starting to work itself out. 24 hours. So yeah, it's just playing catch up. So, all right, that's it for today. A lot of movement. A lot of retracing back and forth. You can see the dollar strength has been coming in. 930 has been straight up. So if we can clear this, we got room to run to 113. So, all right, let's go ahead and do the giveaway. It is for 50 pip chips today because obviously I missed yesterday. I just roll it into the next day. I actually don't know who won last week. I don't remember. I meant to check it and I didn't. I'll check it when we're done here to see who was eligible for the double. But right now, everything is pretty much square. We'll close it down. And the winner of today's drawing for 50 pip chips is Jeff. I don't think you won the other day, so I think we're good. Let me check it out. Let's mark this as complete. Let's go back to giveaways. Who won last time? That was Debbie. So it is just Jeff. Jeff, where are you at? 28. That's the way to get it jumped here. Let's see. Jeff 50. Look at that. Number 26. You were so close. So let's see. What do you got? 474. Oh, look at that. I'm not sure who OAX2 is. I know Gallo is here. I don't know what happened to Gallo. But yeah, look, you're close. You're within 10 pips of jumping through. So you're pretty close. You're right there. So you're good to go, man. All right. With that said, tomorrow you'll be going for 100. So you could literally make that jump tomorrow. So All right, so I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. My voice made it through today. I won't talk the rest of today, but 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Don't forget the release tomorrow morning. Not only the pound is important because again we're seeing huge pound weakness right now. This is showing us pound strength potentially coming in. The CAD data, I think, is definitely, again, the CAD data could be a big mover for us. So watch out for that one. With that said, I'm out of here. You guys have a great trading day today. Sean, stay safe up there in the blizzard, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.